Joining us in a special chat today, we have Akash Palkhiwala, COO and CFO of Qualcomm. He's first speaking to us about deepening their India presence, also with AI, with 6G rollout, local partnerships and much more. And then he's also talking to us about how he's balancing that dual role of being a COO and CFO with aggressive growth plans and financial discipline as well. Akash, welcome. Welcome to ET Now.
Thank you for having me here, Shubhani.
Qualcomm has been vocal about your partnership with the Tata Group. How is that progressing, if you can give us an insight into that?
So we have a very broad partnership with the Tata Group. So we work with Tata Electronics, we work with Tata Motors, we work with Titan, we work with Tejas Networks, we work with Chroma, all their different companies. And with each of these, as Qualcomm diversifies, as we go outside smartphones and we establish a very strong beachhead across all the other different areas, Tata Group is kind of a natural partner for us.
Sure.
One of the key focus areas for us with them has now been on Tata Electronics. As manufacturing starts in India, from a packaging perspective, from a foundry perspective, for making SIPs and modules, we think there's this unique opportunity for us to work with them. And so we're very excited, looking forward to it.
And as Qualcomm is progressing from handsets to, being in the entire ecosystem, connected ecosystem, what changes when it comes to this partnership?
You know, it's very interesting. If you think about what is happening with Qualcomm, we started off with phones, but then all the devices that are at the edge started changing in a way that they wanted the technology that phones have. So if you think about cars, the inside of a car became effectively like a smartphone.
Absolutely.
And so that needed technology from Qualcomm. The car got connected to the cloud, it needed technology from Qualcomm. One of the areas that we're incredibly excited about is wearable AI. So think about a pair of glasses or something you put in your ears or something that's on your wrist or a locket or a brooch. It is a device that can see what you can see, it can hear what you can hear, and it is a device you can have a conversation with.
Yes.
So imagine where you have a device on you and you just look at something and say, what is this? And it'll tell you what it is. If you look at a QR code and say, pay 100 rupees for this code, it'll make the payment for you. You could say, just remind me to take medicine at 4 p.m. and it will do that. Or you could just ask for directions to go somewhere. So there is this incredible amount of change that is happening with AI. And all these devices at the edge, we think of them as becoming carriers for an AI agent. And Qualcomm is very excited to partner with Tata Group and other companies really to make that vision happen.
And globally, when it comes to wearable technology, you also have partnerships with the platforms like Meta for Oakley and Ray-Ban Meta glasses.
Every major company that is active in the new AI wearables area uses Qualcomm. So very excited.
Yeah. Now, speaking about R&D centers in the country, you have 4 R&D centers in the country. How are they contributing to Qualcomm's ambitions globally?
You know, India offices have been a very, very important part of our engineering effort for a very long period of time. So actually, I was involved 20 years ago when we bought this small company called Spike Technologies in Bangalore to set the beachhead for our engineering efforts in India. And from that, we've gone from Bangalore to Hyderabad to Chennai to different parts of Delhi. And then we're going to expand into other areas as well. I mean, there's just so much talent across the country.
Sure.
Not just in tier 1 cities, but tier 2, tier 3 cities. And so it presents this unique opportunity for Qualcomm that as we grow, we'll be able to leverage that talent across the board.
Sure. And where does Qualcomm see itself in the country 1 year down the line, let's say towards the end of 2026?
So in terms of engineering effort, we've grown very, very significantly over the last several years, and we don't see that stopping. So we're going to continue to hire from the top schools in the big cities and then second-tier cities as well. So excited about that. But honestly, the big story in the short term for us is just this increasing amount of business opportunity in different areas. And so we talked about personal AI, but another area that's very interesting to us is physical AI. Physical AI is a vehicle a car is the easiest way to think about physical AI because autonomous driving is going to require a lot of AI technology.
Yeah.
And then the next step for that is robotics and humanoids. Like think about a humanoid is really a car standing up on 2 feet.
Yeah.
And so we're very excited about where physical AI goes. And then the last new area for us is industrial AI. Think about a new deal that we just signed with CP Plus, which has cameras across the country.
Yeah.
And if we can use AI on those cameras to make decisions, say about here's a shoplift event that happened, or here's a safety incident that happened, and AI can tell you to look out for things that are happening across the country. And that's an incredible change in how devices are used, and we're working with the India ecosystem for that.
When we began this conversation, we spoke about your dual role of, being a COO and CFO. One part of that role, of course, being a COO is growth oriented, is thinking about investments, thinking about sprucing up the R&D and so on and so forth. But when it comes to CFO, it comes with the burden of the financial discipline and, being practical about certain decisions when it comes to big plans that Qualcomm may have. How do you balance the dual role of a CEO and CFO?
It's funny. I get this question all the time, but it never really is a conflict for me because the way I think about it is our CEO, Cristiano Amon, has laid out a very clear vision for the company. And that's the North Star for us. And the COO's job is to go make that happen. And the CFO's job is to go make that happen. And so I always see the two of them working together. That doesn't mean there are no conflicts. There are conflicts from time to time. But as long as we are all looking at the North Star, we all end up with the same conclusion and end up doing the same action. So that's the framework of how I operate in the role.
Yeah, so what are the top 3 operational priorities for Qualcomm in the next 12 months that you think will impact the bottom line of the business
Of course. So the first one is pretty clear, is to execute on the growth and diversification strategy. We've made a lot of progress over the last year. Next kind of 12, 24 months, we have to make a lot more progress, and so very focused on that. The second is really making this vision of AI at the edge happen. I think there's a lot of conversation about AI in data center, and everyone understands that very well. But one of the things that's going to happen is a lot of the AI workloads will move to edge devices. And so it's incumbent on Qualcomm. We are in a great position to go make it happen. And so that's priority number 2. The third is really how do you use AI to increase productivity and speed of execution within the company? So how do we write software using AI? How do we design chips using AI? How do we provide customer service using AI? For activities like finance, legal, HR, there's an ability to become a lot more efficient, to become a lot more productive by using AI. And so that's a very big priority for the next 12 months as well.
Yeah, but having said that, still, this term AI arm race has been frequently used to describe the kind of competition, that we have seen amongst the big tech companies to lead this so-called AI arm race. In this situation, how do you ensure that, you are investing enough and more in R&D to stay ahead of the curve while maintaining that financial discipline?
Yeah, so, one of the things in our industry is not made for the faint of heart, right? Like there's always something that's changing. And that's exciting for us. For us, it's about how do we leverage, how do we create these new technologies, and then we create it once and use it across all of our product lines.
Sure.
So the way our OpEx efficiency, operating efficiency happens is really by creating technology once and then using it across all the products that we've talked about. That scale is a beautiful thing for Qualcomm, and that's what makes it financially attractive to invest in these new areas.
Wonderful. Now, there was also an announcement that you guys made last year, which was having your logo, the Snapdragon logo, on the Manchester United jersey, a substantial investment of $75 million per year. And, this this move goes beyond the traditional tech marketing equation, so to speak. So as a CFO, any specific return on investment that you've asked from Don, who is your CMO, on this particular investment that he has made?
I'm sure Don's going to love this question. It's pretty simple. I think Snapdragon is our consumer brand.
Yeah.
We have seen it strengthened very significantly. If you think about unaided awareness of the brand today, 84% of consumers in India are aware of the brand. And we hear this term, Dragon wala phone chahiye.
Yeah.
Right? And so that is super important for us. And one of the ways to get to the consumers is to use sports-related branding. And so Manchester United is one method. Of course, we do things with cricket as well. We do things with Bollywood, specifically for India. But this is just a part of that investment. And the way we measure success of it is to looking at awareness of the Snapdragon brand, because eventually awareness translates into sales. But if we can use things like Manchester United partnerships or things that we are doing within Formula One or within India engagement with cricket, a very important way of building our brand here.